Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Start out with agenda item 1.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley, having established quorum, resolves to call the March 28, 22 regular meeting of Council to order at 5:01. Moved by Randy, seconded by Dean. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Anybody see anything they want to move from the consent agenda to the regular? There was a fair number of reports, but I don't think anything that's too earth-shattering, but we will touch them in the regular part of the meeting. Agenda item 2.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to adopt the agenda for the March 28, 2022 regular meeting of Council as presented, and that a copy of this agenda be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Mover, seconder, please. Warren and Rob. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Anybody see anything they have a conflict of interest on the agenda? I didn't see anything either. We'll move on to 4.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 5:02 p.m., that the regular meeting of Council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover, seconder, Randy, second, Dean, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 5.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:08 p.m., that the confidential in-camera meeting is concluded and the regular meeting of council is resumed. Mover seconder, please. Christine. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Agenda item 6.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve as presented the minutes from the March 14th, 2022 regular meeting of council, and that these minutes be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Mover and seconder, please. Warren, Rob. All in favor? Carried. Okay, agenda item 7.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:10 p.m., that the regular public meeting is suspended and that a public hearing is convened to discuss the following item, bylaw 02-22, a bylaw to regulate zoning in the town of Kindersley, and that a copy of the agenda be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Again, I need a mover and a seconder on that, please. Dean. Second, Gary. All in favor? Gary. Okay. I declare that a public hearing is called to order to discuss bylaw 02-22, being a bylaw to regulate zoning in the town of Kindersley. I would call for any resident attending the public hearing wishing to speak to zoning bylaw 02-22. Call for any correspondence submitted on behalf of residents concerning zoning bylaw 02-22. Administration, did you?
We got none.
No correspondence. Okay, then we will have a final call for any resident attending the public hearing wishing to speak to zoning bylaw 02-22. Seeing or hearing none, public hearing is concluded. Yep. Moving on to agenda item 7.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:11 p.m., that the public hearing is concluded and the regular meeting of council is resumed, and that a copy of the minutes of the public hearing be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Chris, Warren. All in favor? Carried. Yep. Okay, now. Okay. Resolution that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves that in relation to file T0157-22S located at the northeast quarter of Section 2, Township 29, Range 23, west of the 3rd, for a plan of proposed subdivision in the town of Kindersley, and that the Community Planning District of the Government of Saskatchewan request that the Council of the Town of Kindersley comment on the application. That the Council of the Town of Kindersley is not aware of any land or site conditions that would be incompatible with the intended use of the proposed application, and that the Council of the Town of Kindersley facilities affected by the proposed development would include the underground water and sewer infrastructure and road system in this area, and that the intended use for this land listed on the application complies with the Town of Kindersley zoning bylaw 0414, and including the Town of Kindersley zoning bylaw 0222 that is currently under review and awaiting ministerial approval, and that the Council of the Town of Kindersley does not require the applicant to provide municipal reserve land, and that the Council of the Town of Kindersley does require that the applicant to enter into a servicing agreement as lands affected by subdivision will require water and sewer servicing, and any upgrade to the road system for access to these lands shall be borne by the developer. Deputy Administrator Kim, would you just like to elaborate on this a little bit, please?
Sure. So these lands are located just east of town. So the application, the existing land use is the same what their proposed land use is as well. So it fits within our zoning bylaw. They're not looking at doing any zoning bylaw changes as far as what the land use is. And I don't see any reason why we wouldn't move forward with this application.
Okay. Any questions on that, council? Did discuss it in private. Okay, if there is none, I would ask that I have a mover and a seconder for the motion to accept this. Dean, Rob? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Agenda item 8.2, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to abate the 2021 school property tax for the property located on Lot 1, Block 110, Plan 102-36925. Administrator CAO Audrey, could you...
Yeah, so this is as per the Education Property Tax Regulations 2018. It does allow the municipality to abate the school taxes on a property, and so that's what we're doing here. This is a non-profit organization.
And that's our...
Which is what our mandate is.
Our mandate is not tax, non-profit. So, any questions, council? If not, I again need a mover and seconder, please, to move that to the warrant. Second, carried. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 9.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to accept as submitted the list of accounts as paid by the Town of Kindersley in the amount of $479,050.89, and that a copy of said accounts be attached to and form part of the minutes of this meeting. Did you get any queries on this, CAO Audrey?
I did not.
I think a big chunk of it is the bulb out payment that we committed to with the province of Saskatchewan. I did have one question which I forgot to ask you this afternoon, and I think it's just we have a check to Merlin for 14 grand, and it says fire professional development, but I think there was a whole bunch of computers and stuff.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I probably didn't catch that when we did that, yeah. Normally that's probably the first one she put in, and normally I catch that, but I must have missed that one.
I think there was a bunch of stuff on it. Must have picked up a couple of.
Yeah, there would have probably been computers like for Kelly and moving offices there again. Oh, yeah, Berlin would have been probably a new computer for Kelly.
Yeah, there was at least one, if not two. I saw two $1,300 charges, which sounds like a couple of computers.
Yeah.
Okay. Any council, did you see anything you want Audrey to expand upon? If not, could I have a mover and seconder for the accounts then? Councilor Anderson, Councilor Baker, all in favor, carried. Okay. Agenda item 10.1A, and we got a little bit of movement here to do. That the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the second reading of bylaw 0122. Deputy Administrator Kim, can you just,
I'll pass that over.
Okay, so with this one, we read it for the first time at the last meeting. You were wanting to see a definition for the TNR, which is trap, neuter, and return, or trap, neuter, release. So that definition is now in the bylaw. And it basically, we put in there, means in a program administered by an outside organization that involves the process of live trapping feral cats having them spayed or neutered, ear tipped for identification when possible, and vaccinating and releasing them. And then we did also change that section in the bylaw a little bit. Give me a couple of minutes to find it in here. 18, yes. And then, so 8A3, in the case of a feral cat, and if available through an outside organization, utilize the trap, neuter, return program. Does that kind of
I
have
think
the
those were
changes?
the changes we discussed
Yeah.
last meeting where we did the first reading, I guess, subject to some changes. Any questions, council, on that? I think we're, and then I need a mover and a seconder for the second reading here. Chris, Gary, all in favor? Carried. We'll move on to the third and final, I believe. 10.1B, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves to approve that bylaw 0122 being a bylaw to provide for the care and control of animals, bees, livestock, and poultry be read a third time and hereby be approved, and that the approved copy of this bylaw be attached to and form part of these minutes. Mover and seconder, please. Dean, Warren, all in favor? Carried. Okay, that's the first one. Not the last one. This one is Kim's. Agenda item 10.2A, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the second reading of bylaw 0222. Deputy Administrator Kim, this one's yours.
Yes, so this bylaw regulates our land use in town. We did our first reading the beginning of February, I believe, and we have advertised for 4 weeks publicly, just the changes for the zoning bylaw. After the first reading, however, there was a couple changes that council had suggested at that meeting. One of them was page 19, performance bonds, clause 3.13. So we just kind of fine-tuned that section. We also changed the side yard to 1.22. Basically, that's what it was previously. And then in the R4 zoning, at the back of the schedule in mobile homes, we made a change to if their door opened on the side. That change was made as well. Page 58. Corner sites, or if they have side entrances, then they have to have 3 meters from the other, from their side yard. So that was changed as well. So we're just looking at doing the second and third reading of this bylaw tonight.
Councillor Baker, did Kim catch your suggested changes there that you had from the first meeting?
That 1.2 meter, I think, was the big one, right?
Yeah. And that was changed in all of the areas.
Any other questions of Kim on that? If not, I'll need a mover and a seconder, please, for the motion. To accept it, Dean. Second, Warren. All in favor? Carried. Okay. And we'll do it one more time here. Agenda item 10.2B, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves to approve that bylaw 0222 being a bylaw to regulate zoning in the town of Kindersley be read a third time and hereby be approved, and that the approved copy of this bylaw be attached to and form part of these minutes. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Dean and Rob? All in favor? Okay, agenda item 11.1, that the Council of the Town of Kindersley resolves to approve the consent agenda, which included the following items for acceptance and filings. Worley board meetings for February 23rd, 2022. Saskwater, February 2022 monthly report. Quarter 1 of the EK minutes, March 23rd, 2022. Kindersley Museum minutes, March 8th, 2022. the 2022 Household Hazardous Waste Flyer Provincial Program, and finally the Kindersley Chamber of Commerce March 22nd, 2022 board meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to accept, mover and a seconder to accept those? Councilor Baker, second, Councilor Galbraith. All in favor? Okay. Agenda item 12.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves, whereas the time being 7:24 p.m., that the regular meeting of council be adjourned to a confidential in-camera meeting. Mover seconder, please. Warren, Rob. All in favor? Town of Kindersley resolves whereas the time being 8:23 p.m. confidential and camera meeting is concluded and the regular meeting of council is resumed. I need a mover, seconder, please. Chris, Rob. All in favor? Done. Okay. Am I missing something?
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, just this one. Okay, I got it. Any business arising from the in-camera session that we just finished? Seeing none, we'll move on to 15.1, that the Council of Town of Kindersley resolves that all business having been concluded, the March 28, 2022 regular meeting of council is adjourned at 8:24 p.m. Mover, seconder, Dean, Gary. All in favor?